What is the secret to getting more views on YouTube? Well, it isn't really a secret. I've seen hundreds of videos on it. But that secret is still a secret for one reason. It's really easy to tell you how it works, but it's a lot harder to show you how so you can really grasp it for yourself and implement it. The secret is so simple and obvious that you've probably heard it like 50 times. But the magic only really happens when you understand it and you're totally able to implement it into your creative process, and that only comes when you know how to do that. So today, I'm gonna attempt as best I can to train you to see what you need to do to get more views. And I'm gonna walk you through how you can see for yourself how YouTube discovery works, so even if they change something, you're gonna be able to identify it and you're gonna be able to, switch it up. Most importantly, once you see the secret for yourself, it's gonna make it easy for you to evaluate your own content and create new content that's gonna get more views. It's a really tall order, to be honest, so I'm gonna do my best. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments how I do. Live streamers, you're gonna wanna stick around because there is only one way to get more live stream views, and I'm gonna tell you what it is today. But the rest of this video is gonna be about YouTube discovery and exactly how it works and how you can make it work for you. So you know what? Let's get to it! How do you watch YouTube? It's incredibly important if you're trying to figure out how to get more views. What makes you click on a video? How are you finding the videos that you watch? And hint, hint, live streamers, you're gonna need to know that stuff too if you really wanna find an audience, so don't go anywhere. I watch nearly all YouTube on my phone. I probably consume about 3 hours of YouTube content every single day. Some is for research for my videos or a skill that I'm trying to learn, but most of it is for personal entertainment. Now, I watch stuff when I take a break from scripting, filming, editing, and planning all my content. Most of the time, I'm outside on the back porch enjoying the outdoors like I am right now. One of the perks of being a YouTuber that I cherish the most, if I'm being honest. I just love being outdoors. I can't help it. Anyways, about 50% of my viewing habits is long-form automotive content. Stuff like car restorations, builds, reviews, commentary, pretty much anything automotive. 15% of my viewing tends to be true crime stuff, internet mysteries, strange disappearances, that kind of thing. This is because I love a good mystery, but also because I like to see how these channels tell the story. Great storytelling is a huge key to creating successful videos, and even with tutorials, there are things that you can learn about capturing an audience from great storytellers. 15% of my viewing is video game related, new games, indie games, pretty much anything RPG related. I just enjoy watching this stuff. Most are not live streams, but narrated videos. 10% of my viewing is pop culture related. I gotta keep current with what's going on in this space to really know what people are talking about. About 10% is research related to the channel. You could be sitting there saying, why does any of this actually matter? I could really care less what you watch. Well, it matters for this video because now that you know, I can show you how discovery actually works. So let's take a look at my phone. All right, so here we are. Got my phone. You can see everything I'm seeing. We're gonna go into YouTube here. Automatically, we can see we get an ad at the top. Of course, it wouldn't be right if we didn't. So when we scroll through here, we can see that about 50% of everything that's sent to me is automotive in nature. All of the channels that I've seen so far are channels that I am subscribed to in one way or another. From a car channel perspective, I think there might be one channel so far that I've seen that I'm not subscribed to, which should tell you something. Given how much car content I watch, you would think they would suggest more of it and more stuff from content creators that I haven't seen, but they don't. So keep that in mind. We can see that some of this stuff is video game based, which makes sense because that's a certain percentage of everything I watch. Then you've got stuff like this right here that is kind of crime drama stuff. And there's lots of that in there, mixed in with pop culture stuff and news and that sort of stuff. So you can see that we've got a mix that definitely represents what I told you before about how I view stuff on YouTube. You can see that up here at the top it says all, but we're gonna just do automotive repair shots. And this is gonna give us, you know, mostly automotive content. And what I want to do is go down here and see what these thumbnails look like. And you're going to notice in every single one of these thumbnails that we're seeing, they're all pretty similar. That's the first one right here and right here that don't have text. But almost every car channel thumbnail has text in it. Some of it is hyperbolic, some of it isn't. You can see that most of the car channel stuff has text. And then generally speaking, this right here, this "it melted," that's pretty standard fare thumbnail, what you're going to see on the car channel. I would say that's the kind of car channel thumbnail I'm used to seeing most. You could see Hoovy uses it. Let's see here. You can see it right there. Right there. Right there. You can see a pattern right there. You can see a pattern of how these thumbnails are created, how they're used. This is telling you right off the bat that people who watch this sort of content, those are the style of thumbnails that you're going to want to make in order to, you know, get people to watch. So what sort of text is used? Well, in the case of "it's melted," obviously it's hyperbolic. You know, it's something that's meant to shock you, that sort of stuff. Oops. Best car guy jobs, which is basically just telling you the title. No more EVs. Meant to shock you. Insert freedom. Hyperbolic title. Overkill. Hyperbolic. That sort of stuff. You can see from a title perspective a pattern that develops in these videos as well. Will I regret selling my C8 Corvette? Let's see, it's painted. So the other thing that you're going to notice heavily in car channel content is that most of the videos are in a series. So the series of videos encourages people to watch more and more. For my car channel, we're doing a series on an old BMW 7 Series. And, you know, somebody who is interested in an old BMW 7 Series is likely to watch the entire series, which fulfills one of YouTube's things that it's really looking for. And in my car channel content, I also use hyperbolic text. I also use hyperbolic titles. Generally speaking, in my title, most of the time I have something like "idiot tries to," me being the idiot, and then do something. Usually that something is obviously something that happens in the video, because there is a difference between a hyperbolic title and clickbait. There's a big difference. A hyperbolic title delivers. In other words, if I say, "I can't believe I blew up my BMW," well, I damn well better blow up my BMW at some point, or some facsimile of that in the video. Otherwise, it's clickbait. So a hyperbolic title is fine. You just have to deliver. Let's go back to all. And we will refresh this so it wipes it out. And so pop culture style, you can see two right there. Just people in the thumbnails with some text sometimes, with some not text. Generally speaking, people who do pop culture content try to make meme style thumbnails. If you go on Twitter, you know what a meme is. Generally speaking, most of the thumbnails that you're going to see on that style of content are going to be meme style. And almost all pop culture videos will use clickbaity style titles to try to get you to click, but they'll also use pop culture terms in the title, such as Bud Light, it's a hot thing right now. Any movie that's currently out, they'll use those titles because, well, people search for those titles and they click on good thumbnails. So, you know, I like this. Proving the Hulk's underpants would actually stay on. This kind of stuff, just, you know, it's funny. It's funny. It's a funny title. It's a funny video. And I'm sure at some point in the video they actually prove it. So it's not clickbait. Let's go up and see what other stuff we have. Muscle cars, gaming. So what sort of stuff do they suggest to me during gaming? Right now, gaming and pop culture have kind of crossed over because of some cultural things that are going on, and also Kick. But you can see that common thumbnails, like the one that's suggested to me first is because I searched for X4 foundations a couple of days ago. So it's suggesting me content on X4 foundations. That personally is not a thumbnail that I would click on. It's freaking horrible. But if I was looking for X4 foundations content anymore, that would be one. We've got Splattercat Gaming. He's another big one that I watch, and you can see his thumbnails are generally kind of just art used from the game, that sort of thing. And then his titles basically represent what you're going to see in the game. Most of the thumbnails that you're seeing here for the gaming content that I watch are quite honestly not fantastic thumbnails, but you can still see a pattern. These big text titles with game characters in them, that sort of stuff, it's a pattern. So if you're producing content related to gaming, this is the kind of stuff that you need to take note of. You can also see a strange pattern emerging here. So I have specifically gaming selected at the top. But how much of this content is actually gaming? And this goes back to the percentage of game content that I actually watch. So, you know, this right here, just because the word NPC is in there doesn't mean it's gaming related. This Wayward Gods episode 1, not really gaming related. The Bud Light update, this is not gaming related. This one right here, not gaming related. BattleBots, not gaming related. So YouTube will basically give me still a mix in my gaming feed of stuff that I watch otherwise, which I think is kind of ridiculous. And here's why I think it's ridiculous. There are thousands and thousands of game creators out there that they never suggest, because even though I said I want gaming, they're still going to suggest to me other stuff that I generally watch. So that makes me a little bit frustrated, but that's also something that tells you something about how YouTube discovery works. So let's see. Film criticism, podcasts, news, history, X4 Foundations, you can see that in there because I searched for it. Machines, live is going to be a little bit of a mix of live streaming content that I do for research. So all of these little thingies at the top that you can see are all stuff that's based on stuff that I've searched for in the past or stuff that I watch most. So if we go to news to you, we're probably going to see a whole heck of a lot of pop culture type stuff, but you can already see here, it's not really. It's just kind of a weird mix. And this just tells you how YouTube thinks. That's why you really have to analyze your feed and what sort of content you watch and how you watch it. Because if you analyze your feed, what sort of content you watch and how you watch it, it's going to basically tell you or inform you on how your content is gonna be suggested to people. So a perfect example, if I go over here and I just select live, what is it gonna give us? Well, we've got Midnight's Edge live. So this is basically just selecting live streams for me right here. And you can see that any of these live streams that it's actually suggesting would be channels that I have looked at in the past. maybe for something. That Darkness 429 is a new one, which is rare. I rarely see them suggest anything new that I haven't actually seen. And this tells me that live streaming is changing a little bit. They're finally starting to, if you search for live streaming, give you a little bit more than what they were giving you in the past. Now, all this live streaming stuff is directly connected to things that I may or may not have checked out before. So it's not going to suggest something totally interesting or totally different than what it was suggesting before. But this is new because I can tell you that it would never suggest to me a live stream that I didn't already have in my subscribe list just in suggested. So if I just left it in all the time, which generally is what I do, it's never going to suggest your live stream to me unless I'm subscribed to you. This is really, really, really important for those live streamers out there because you're never going to get found by just live streaming. But we'll get more into that. This exercise is meant to give you the ability to search specifically for the type of content that you want to do and then analyze the thumbnails and analyze the titles to see what YouTube is suggesting, to see what people are clicking. YouTube would not be suggesting any one of these videos that you see in my feed right here, not a single one of them, if they didn't have a good click-through rate. That's the reason why they're suggesting this. It's based on my viewing habits and the fact that a lot of people click on these videos. So you have to have a good thumbnail. That's the first thing that people see. You have to have a title that draws people in. That's literally the second thing people see. What would you do next? Well, the next thing you're going to do is maybe jot down a couple of the videos that you saw in here in your genre that caught your eye, right? So when you do this on your phone or however you're going to look at it, you're going to jot those down. Or, you know, another easy way to save something like this is to click the little three dots in the right hand corner and click Save to Watch Later. Put them in your Watch Later, and then what you can do is go over to your library and you can go and there is a playlist of Watch Later right here. So Watch Later's right there. You can go into that playlist and watch those videos that you tagged. You're going to want a piece of paper for this. You're going to take notes on how the presenter interacts with the audience. Are they telling a story? Is it interesting? Are they using flashy edits? Are they using humor? Those are the kind of things that will educate you in how to keep your audience for longer. And believe me, every genre is different. There are completely different ways that car content keeps their audience interested than there is for a tutorial audience. There are completely different ways. And that's why it's really important that you see what YouTube is actually suggesting in your genre. Even if you implement or integrate 5 to 10% of the things that you learn when you do your little research here, you will get more views. Your click-through rate will go up. Your titles will be more clickable and your video will be more watchable. Is it going to happen overnight? Nope. Not everyone learns to be a good thumbnail creator or a good title creator overnight. Believe me, I'm still working on those. Those are two things that I really struggle with. And certainly from a video creation perspective, you may not have the equipment to deliver the kind of product that some of these guys are delivering. And you certainly may not have the skill to produce it either or edit it. With that being said, you have a pretty good solid idea of where you need to be and how to get there. And what else can you really ask for? YouTube is definitely not a sprint. It is a journey that happens one step at a time, very slowly. So now you understand how to analyze the feed, how to recognize how discovery works in your genre, but also in other genres. And you even can recognize how things might change over time. Like today, when I noticed if I clicked on live, it would actually suggest me live streams, for channels that I wasn't necessarily subscribed to, which it never did in the past. So you might be sitting there saying, how does any of this stuff help me get more views? Well, YouTube has a very simple formula for success. Very simple. Give YouTube what it wants. So what does YouTube want? It wants videos that people watch for a long period of time. It wants titles and thumbnails that people are going to click on. It wants content that gets people to interact in the comments with a thumbs up or a thumbs down as well. And last, it wants content that leads to more viewing. In other words, pushing viewers to other videos because it keeps people watching. Now, this is more important in certain genres than others. For the car channel genre, it's really important. They want a series of videos so that you're gonna watch one and the next and the next. Or maybe you caught the last one and you go all the way back to the first one to start watching. Binge watching really will help a channel like a car channel get noticed quickly. Not every genre is gonna work like that, but if you can figure out ways to get people to watch more of your content or even push them to videos of other people's content, it's going to be good for you. Now, these 4 very simple things, if we go back again and look at the feed, well, we're gonna see all that in action. Everything in here is suggested to me because it meets several of those 4 traits. You can easily see a pattern with thumbnails in each of the different genres. So that tells you what type of thumbnails get clicks in that genre. You can see a pattern on titles too. So all you really have to do is do your research in your genre to see what YouTube wants. What sort of thumbnails are working, what type of titles people are using, and a quick watch some of the videos will even give you an idea of how the videos are structured to keep people watching. Like anything else you want to do in life, learning from people who are doing it well is always the quickest and easiest path to success. Your feed will tell you everything you need to know about how to get suggested more by YouTube. And getting suggested is the #1 key to growth. Sure, you can hit the search with terms that are popular, and when you first start out, this is something you really have to do. The reason you have to hit search when you first start out is simple. YouTube doesn't know if you have any of those 4 simple things in your video, so it's not gonna suggest it. But if someone searches for the content, they're gonna suggest it, and based on how it performs when it's searched, that's gonna train YouTube to know if the video is applying the 4 things that it wants. If it performs, then YouTube will suggest it more to people who also searched or watched that kind of content that's in your video. If it doesn't get clicks, it won't get any more suggestions. If it doesn't keep people watching for a long time, it won't get suggested. It's really that simple. Use your feed to show you what YouTube wants in your genre, and then give it to them, and you're going to get more views. Live streamers, I haven't forgotten about you. Let's talk facts about being suggested as a live stream. I've gotten suggested a live stream by a grand total of 4 channels. None of them are channels that I wasn't subscribed to. And of course, we know that's in my main feed. But what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that if someone isn't searching for whatever your stream is about, you aren't going to get suggested. That's the first thing. The second and more important thing is you must produce something other than live streams in order to grow. If you only ever get suggested to subscribers, you have to figure out how to get more subscribers. But how do you get more subscribers? Well, you get them by being suggested. It's a vicious cycle. Recorded content gets suggested, live streams do not. Why? It's really pretty simple. Generally, live streams have generic titles, which are not designed to be clickable. Live streams generally have generic thumbnails, which are also not clickable. The length of a live stream is something that could keep people watching for a long time, but generally, people don't click on videos that are over 15 to 20 minutes, no matter what the title and thumbnail are. So basically, 3 of the 4 things YouTube is looking for, live streams just don't provide, especially when they're not live. The solution is to create shorter pre-recorded videos to attract subscribers who will also enjoy your live streams. And if you don't do that, it will be very difficult for you to grow on YouTube. So I hope this helps you understand how to get more views. I really want you to take this information, analyze your feed and your genre's search terms, and write down those notes. And then next time you film a video, use those notes to educate you on what your thumbnail should be like, what your title should be like, and how your video should be structured. If you do that and you work it into your process, you will get more views. And now I've showed you how I analyze my feed. I've walked you through how you can analyze your feed as well. And I've suggested how to go ahead and create the systems so that you can create better content that is going to give YouTube what it wants. If the video helped you, let me know in the comments, or maybe just toss a thumbs up in there for the algorithm. And if you think I left something out that's really important, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos about the process of finding more audience members as a live streamer, you should check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Firer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.